Town Council to order. I'm getting there. First thing we do is have a public hearing. All persons are reminded this session is being recorded on tape for the preservation of records, and you're asked when called upon to give your name, address, and interest in the matter before the council. We have 3 items before us tonight. Discussion of a resolution 2024-05, a resolution concerning a general obligation bond for the water system centralization and modernization project that we talked about last month. You want to say anything about that?
The resolution, basically, no, that's you. No, about the obligation bond, no, you can cover that one.
Okay. And then discussion of ordinance 555, an ordinance for the purpose of updating procedures for the voter registration and candidate participation in municipal elections. That's basically, every 30 years, whether we like it or not, we're going to update them. There's a lot of stuff that was outdated there, so long past time to do that. And then discussion of Charter Amendment Resolution 2024-06, a resolution for the purpose of updating Article 5, registration, nominations, elections, and Article 8, general provisions. So, any comments?
Has the attorney reviewed the ordinance 555?
Yes, she has reviewed all 3 documents.
Okay.
And of course, we have a bond attorney for the
Just one thing.
general obligation bond. Okay, so is there any public comment? Since there's one member of the public here tonight in the fog and mist of December during the holiday seasons, thanks for being here, Dave. We'll call the public hearing to an end. So we'll call the regular meeting of the Mayor and Town Council to order. You're being reminded that Comcast Channel 23 is live streaming via the following links, which is carrollmediacenter.org and facebook.com/carrollmediacenter. If you're listening online and something's wrong with the sound, we are aware. That's just not my voice because of a cold. That something popped up in the system and they're going to have to come out and recalibrate us, so we'll get that squared away for the new year, but hopefully you can hear what we're saying. So we'll rise for the opening prayer. And we'll just pause for a moment of silence for all those who need our help for this holiday season. And the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Jim, we'll let you call the roll, such as it is.
Mayor Nevin.
Here.
Councilmember Barrett.
Here.
Councilmember Painter.
Here.
Councilmember Thomas.
Here.
And Council Members Oglesby and Zolman are absent.
And they're excused. A lot of stuff crud going around these days. So, and Dave is recovering from a recent medical thing. He's doing well, so he'll be back next month. Okay, so minute approvals, the public hearing and the council meeting from November 12th.
So moved. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Town managers report.
Okay, so the water system centralization and modernization project, town staff, our engineering firms, and personnel from MDE, we met virtually on November 15th. There are 2 reasons for the meeting. The first being the technical review of the 95% complete water treatment plant construction plans. MDE was satisfied with the plans, and they told us we could move forward, so we should be moving into the bid phase for the water treatment plant construction in the next month or so. The second reason for the meeting was to receive guidance from MDE financial staff as we move into the submittal of bid packages to MDE for their approval. It was great. They had probably 6 or 7 people from the financial side of MDE here, or virtually, and they gave a lot of good information on how the necessary forms we need, the documents we need, and how to ensure that the process goes smoothly. Some of the people from the financial side we hadn't talked to in a year, and the last number they saw as far as the cost was a flat $20 million. So the last thing we did is we showed them the new budget, the new estimated cost of $30.1 million. We informed MDE of that, the new cost, why it went up, because we added a couple of things to it, and also that the town will be seeking additional financial assistance and we thought we'd go through the same process we did 2 years ago. And MDE, they agreed that would be the correct path to follow, and they also let us know that additional financial assistance may be possible. So that was very encouraging. So the third of the 6 contracts necessary to complete this project, which is the pipeline construction contract, is currently out for bid. The responses from contractors seeking copies of the RFP has been very good. Bids are due on January 9th, 2025, and we hope to have a recommendation for the contract to this council at the February meeting. As far as development projects go, Tractor Supply Company, Weiss Gas and Go, and Warshex all continue with county concept review. Melanie Acres, the little 6-house subdivision off Dana Avenue, which seems to have been around for like 20 years, I think it's only been 12, is about to start construction. The town has a signed public works agreement along with a letter of credit with Keystone Homes to cover the construction. Construction of the water and sewer infrastructure will begin along Dana Avenue in either January or February. The town received notification from the Maryland Department of Emergency Management in conjunction with the SLCGP local cyber program that we've been awarded a grant to review the town's cybersecurity. Town staff will work with the Do It local cybersecurity team to assess our systems and partner with them to develop solutions and programs to improve our cybersecurity posture. This partnership and review are anticipated to begin in February of next year. As far as the finance department, the Affordable Care Act requires that the town submits proof of health insurance every year for all its employees. Cheryl has finished compiling the data and will submit it to ACA Prime. Upon their review and processing of the data, they will handle the electronic submission to the IRS. Cheryl will distribute the 1095Bs forms to the employees. She also continues to work on other calendar year-end items, including W-2s and 1099s. So this year, Candy Cane Lane on Main, it's back for its 5th year. The deadline to enter the contest is this Friday, December the 13th. Any Main Street resident or business can call Town Hall at 410-239-7408 to enter and get a Candy Cane Lane sign. The way this works is we'll come out and we'll take pictures of all the residences and businesses. We actually put them on Facebook, and then basically it's a popularity contest. Whoever gets the most votes, first and second place in both residential and business categories, are winners. They'll be announced on December the 30th, and then the winners receive a gift card to a local Hampstead business. And this year, for the 3rd straight year, E-Line Funeral Homes is sponsoring Hampstead Cemetery for the cemetery's annual Wreaths Across America event. This year, the goal is to ensure that every veteran buried in Hampstead Cemetery is honored with a wreath. The event is open to the public, and volunteers to place wreaths are encouraged. The event will begin at, I'm told to put this in big letters and bold, exactly 12 noon on Saturday, December the 24th. So they're encouraging people to get there around 1:15. And lastly, Santa's house. Santa will be spending 2 more evenings in Hampstead before he needs to return to the North Pole and get everything ready for Christmas. Santa will be here this Friday and Saturday, December 13th and 14th. It'll be the last chance for kids to visit Santa this year. Santa House is located in War Memorial Park and is open both evenings from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Donations for NESAP will also be collected on those evenings at the Santa House, and the Santa House is sponsored by the Hampstead Merchants Association. That's it.
Any questions for Jim?
Yes, sir.
All right, Diane.
The Hampstead Farmers Market Advisory Team would like to thank everyone who came out in the blustery weather to shop with our participating vendors during the tree lighting. Thanks also to St. John's Church for allowing us to use their space each year. There's no advisory team meeting this month. We will reconvene in early January to begin planning for the 2025 season, which will be the Farmers Market's 16th year. We hope everyone has a happy and safe holiday season. We look forward to the new year.
Thank you. Wayne?
The Hampstead train station is closed for the season. It'll open again on Hampstead Day. Music in the Park, we're working on getting bands for this year. I think we're going to take a couple of our regulars out and bring in some new ones, so looking at that. The Tree Commission, working on spring planting. We'll be doing some planting at our next meeting in January, which will be on January 8th, because the 1st is
New Year's, yes.
New Year's. So, and that's it for me.
All right, and Deb.
The Planning and Zoning Commission met on Wednesday, November 20th. There was really nothing on the agenda, except that the Carroll County Department of Planning update was the final housing study is due in December. And the December Planning and Zoning meeting scheduled for December 18th will be canceled as there is nothing on the agenda.
All right, simple.
And then I have water.
You're going to do the water
I am.
for Ben? Thank you.
November 2024 average water usage was 342,000 gallons per day. December 2024 average water usage so far is 351,000 gallons per day. Rainfall for November 2024 was 1.95 inches, and rainfall total so far for December is 0.02.
And going up.
Tomorrow should take us a little bit further up.
All right. Dave.
Good evening, everyone. During the month of November, with reference to traffic safety, we handled 17 accidents. 10 were minor, 7 were reportable, and 6 took place in 42 circles.
We were doing so well.
Well, what can I say?
Slow down in the circles, please.
Speed signs were put at 5 locations for a total of 46 days of display. With reference to traffic enforcement, we conducted 24 selective enforcements over a period of 11 hours. During that activity, 12 citations and 17 warnings were written. Overall traffic enforcement included 257 citations and 263 warnings. We conducted 663 patrol checks. With reference to crime, we handled reports of 2 thefts, 1 case of identity theft, 1 fraud, 1 harassment, 1 second-degree assault, 1 domestic-related assault, 1 incident of MDOP vandalism, 2 firearm violations, 1 DUI, and 2 CDS violations, Drug Act violations. Arrests included 1 DUI, 2 individuals for assault, 2 individuals for Drug Act violations, and 3 warrant services. Traffic arrests included 1 suspended driver, 1 unlicensed driver, and 6 uninsured drivers. We conducted 103 hours of training. Some of the topics included edged weapons, neurological disorders, lethality assessment, domestic violence response, current drug trends, homeless issues, developing leadership, child abuse, tourniquets and trauma kits, implicit bias. We continue with our annual firearm qualifications and safety courses, emergency vehicle operators course, and improving supervisory skills. Our community events included, we participated in the Shiloh Middle School Touch a Truck event. We also assisted Manchester Valley, the field hockey team. Congratulations, they won the state championship, and we assisted in the, I guess you would call it the procession that took place after the event. We attended the Roberts Field HOA meeting, the annual tree lighting, most of us were there, Spring Garden Elementary pep rally, and we made an appearance down at Pipe to Side. The Manchester Valley students held a bake sale, with the proceeds benefiting Shop with a Cop. And that'll be our report.
And you have Shop with a Cop this Saturday,
Shop with a Cop
8 o'clock.
is this Saturday, yes.
So, busy time of year. Any questions for Dave? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So, Mayor's report, as I indicated, it's been busy. Since in the last month, Legit is the local government insurance trust where we get most of our insurance, and they moved me from, I think, the underwriting committee to the finance committee, so I was on that. Better suits my skill set, so, glad to help out in any way I can. Attended the Carroll County Republicans meeting over in Westminster, which was basically the legislative representatives, delegates, and senators in to talk about what's coming in the next session, which should prove to be a very interesting session, given that Maryland is $2.7 billion in the hole. Before they even start out, and on the same night as your tree commission meeting, that's when I'll be in Annapolis for the opening recession, and this year again I'm serving on MML's legislative committee as the chairman, so it'll be an interesting 90-day period of time. This Thursday we're going to go up to to Manchester for the Carroll County Maryland Municipal League meeting, and I think our special speaker there is Jim DeWeese is going to come in and talk about what's going on. Last Friday, I went down to Annapolis. Maryland Municipal League had a state of municipalities, and basically what we're trying to do is show how much of the state budget is contingent on municipalities. And we punch well above our weight, was the goal of this report, or the results of this report, not necessarily the goal, but it showed that is in fact the case, and that basically the only way that towns can raise money is through the property tax, which then exacerbates the affordability crisis that we have with housing. So there's one of the initiatives we have this year is to look at an amusement and admissions tax. So if you're out at a bar, part of what you're going to pay will be an added tax that we can then opt into if we want. So we'll see how that goes this year. But so, a lot of these people who live just outside the town get a lot of benefits for living outside the town, and they do not pay a dime for the ongoing cost of everything that we have to do. So just ways to be more fair and equitable across how we tax people or generate revenue based on services provided and those who benefit from them. So Chief mentioned the town lighting, which everybody enjoyed, and please enjoy the lights. I get so many compliments, Kevin, from you about what the effort you and your staff put into it. Thank you very much, and I love the new Hampstead light on the north side of town too, matching the south end. We got a little bonus coverage that day since it was a messy, snowy day. Channel 45 was in town. I just happened to be in Rocco's, and Amy Aronson says, "Can I do an interview with you?" So I was interviewed by the meteorologist. And I heard from a few folks that they saw me on TV. And but the weather was a challenge that night. But the spirit was very warm, and the lighting went off without a hitch. So it was all great. So that's the end of my report. I don't think we have any unfinished business. And then we have a couple of new business pieces, which are some awards of contracts related to our grant, to our infrastructure improvement plan for the water system. And the first of which is the award of a contract for water main construction services. And Jim?
So just first thing as a reminder, basically these contracts, the way it's going to work is the town will be fronting the monies on both of these contracts, and then we'll be submitting everything to MDE to get reimbursed through the Emerging Contaminants EPA grant. So on the inspection services for the water main construction, we got 2 bids in, Webb Hawkins and CMTS. We did due diligence on both companies, and then we met with the owner of Webb Hawk along with the inspector that's going to be assigned to our project. We followed that up with email and phone conversations with their references, and Kevin actually reached out and talked to some of the contractors who work personally with the inspector, and every word we got back was very good. So additionally, Webb Hawk is a local minority business. They're actually located in Sykesville. So at this time, town staff recommends the approval of the water main construction inspection services contract to Webb Hawk LLC in the amount of $93,913.60.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, second one, granular activated carbon and ion exchange equipment procurement. And as you can see, there were 3 bids, so it's coming to fruition.
Yes, so we got 3 bids. ETC, Calgon, and Nuterra. ETC, once we looked into the bids received, they were non-responsive in the fact that they did not match the criteria that was in the request for bids. That additionally, with their price, we didn't look any further into them. We looked into Calgon and Nuterra. We reviewed the bids of those 2 companies. We found several areas where clarification of terminology and clarification of materials to be used were necessary. We followed up with written correspondence and phone calls with each company. After these conversations, Nuterra's bid was found to be responsive. The materials and terminology, what they were talking about, is all in line with what was in the request for the bid. So town staff recommends the approval of the GAC and ion exchange equipment procurement contract to Nuterra in the amount of $1,297,695.31.
So moved.
Second.
And for those on TV, the difference in bids here from that low bid to the high bid, it's from 1.3 rounded to 3.2 million rounded. So quite a discrepancy with the middle one at 1.8. So I think, based on what we're seeing, we got a fair price here. All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So just as a reminder, the funding of this, because we're going to talk about the bond next, one of the bonds, but as Jim mentioned, we get this emerging contaminants money from MDE. We have to front it a little bit, but that next $19 million is covered after we do the first $3 million, which we're going to talk about now, which is for the engineering of this project. So it is moving forward and taking the next step. So first thing is ordinance and resolutions is an adoption of Resolution 2024-05, a resolution concerning the general obligation bond for the water system centralization and modernization project, which is the $3 million bond, as I referenced, for primarily engineering services. It's a 20-year bond with a 50-year repayment period. So an F&M will be providing that bond.
Looking for a motion?
Yes, sir.
So moved.
Second?
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. And then the last two ordinances, or one's an ordinance, one's a resolution, is related to the elections, which we just referenced in our, public hearing that didn't have any comment. Adoption of ordinance 555, which is the purpose of updating procedures for the voter registration and candidate participation in municipal elections, which basically updates our system to what is really happening and accounting for all the changes that pretty much happened over 30 years.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. And then adoption of Charter Amendment Resolution 2024-06 was a resolution for the purpose of updating Article 5, registration, nominations, and elections, and Article 8, general provisions. And basically, the Article 5 is that with the way municipal elections are set up and the influence of social media and everything else, that write-in candidates in general or special elections will not be considered, but the remainder of the ballot shall be but the remainder of the ballot shall not be invalidated. So if you're going to run for public office, you register for public office, you make your points known, and you stand before the public. So that's the primary reason for this charter amendment.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Oh, you do need a roll call.
Oh, sorry.
Councilmember Barrett,
Yes.
Councilmember Painter,
Yes.
and Councilmember Thomas.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you now. That's the business piece of it, relatively swift and quick. Public comments? We good? Everybody up here good?
Yep. I just wanted to add that thank you to Kevin, to your team for the lights, as well as the police department for the whole traffic crossing people for that night, because I know it was cold.
It was.
It was very cold.
Great job.
It's one of our staff's favorite things to do all year.
It's one of my favorite things to do too all year. So it's all fun. So we wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope you have some time to enjoy it with your families. And the new year will be upon us in no time at all. So happy holidays. A motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? And thank you all. I hope the sound wasn't too bad. Like I said, we'll get it fixed for January.